The price of oil has jumped to its highest level since the 2008 global financial crisis. That's amid reports that the U.S. and Europe are considering their toughest sanctions yet, a ban on Russian oil and gas imports. The sale of fossil fuels is Russia's most important industry. A boycott would starve Moscow of the revenues that account for more than a third of its spending. Earlier, international crude benchmark Brent briefly rose to just below $140 a barrel. Right now, it's trading near $130, up 10% over the past 24 hours. Canada has led the way in banning Russian fossil fuel imports, but it's not a major customer. So officials there are now putting pressure on their neighbor, the U.S., to follow suit by rejecting Russian shipments.
For the free world, for North America to be taking Russian barrels right now, whether it's crude oil or refined products, is unconscionable. He's using those funds to butcher people, to literally butcher people. And that he's funding his war, and he has been funding his war with that. That's blood barrels. So we could have supplied that from Canada. So I fully support the U.S. banning Russian imports of oil and refined products. It needs to happen. It should have happened. Canada has led the way. Canada, days ago, banned the import of Russian crude. So the U.S. needs to follow.
For more, let's go to Han Tan. He's the chief market analyst at the Exinity Group in Abu Dhabi. Welcome back to the program, Han. Now, how important exactly is Russia to the global energy market, and what will be the immediate impact be if we lose that supply from that country?
Yeah, so Russia is very important to the global energy market. So keep in mind, they are the third largest producer in the world. Certainly very important for Europe, given that half of Russia's fossil fuel exports go to the continent. Right now, as for the immediate impact, like you already cited, it is being felt in oil prices, it is being felt in FX markets, but it also could have a spillover effect, right? And it is expected to do so via the hard inflation numbers, and that could even alter the course of central banks in their plans to normalize policy settings.
Han, do the U.S. and Europe have alternatives for this supply, or should they now look at regenerating energy from sources like coal, which is dirtier and goes against their ambitions to become greener economies?
Yeah. So the short answer is the U.S. appears to have more alternatives, at least short-term fixes, more so than Europe, right? Keep in mind that the U.S. shale industry has got a lot more spare capacity. They have been reluctant to ramp up, in this post-pandemic era in recent months, given some requirements by their shareholders. But if push comes to shove, and if the supply-side policies are favorable, then they could be spurred into action. With Europe, less so, because as you pointed out, there had been this multi-year campaign to shy away towards this greener energy agenda. Now, granted, this crisis could then hasten that pivot towards greener energy, but again, it's not like a switch that can just flick on, right? So perhaps in the interim, between now and when Europe gets more energy security, there could be an energy crisis on the cards.
All right, Han Tan, Chief Market Analyst at the Exinity Group in Abu Dhabi. Thank you for joining the program.